Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the AI Business Jumpstart. I'm Tony Stark-Polici.
And I'm Courage Jado.
And we're your hosts here. And we are back with the amazing Amanda van der Gulik. And she has got some incredible content to share with us today about marketing using AI. So Amanda, thank you so much for being back. I can't wait to hear what you're going to share with us today.
I am so excited. Our last session was so much fun, and I really hope everybody enjoyed it and got a lot out of it. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, make sure you grab the VIP so you can go watch it. Since we're now on day 4, right? And so I'm just going to share my screen and we're going to start my presentation. And then if you have any questions, Craig, Tony, go ahead and just, jump in with anything. And let's get this rolling. So I like to use AI for literally for everything. And I'll tell you why in a moment, because it's absolutely changed my life and made it possible for me to actually be successful online when I was really struggling. So today we're going to talk specifically about marketing and selling smarter using AI. And I'm going to show you how I use AI to turn YouTube into a 24/7 marketing machine. It's my sales funnel. Even with limited energy, and I'll share why. Those who were already on our session on day 2, you'll understand. So you'll get a little recap, and then we're going to dive into marketing and selling today. So yes, my name's Amanda van der Gulik. You did a good job, Tony. Okay, and so I was in a coma. In 2016, I developed pneumonia in both my lungs, and our little local hospital didn't have an ICU. And my oxygen dropped under 80, and I literally wouldn't have survived had they were not able to send me to a hospital with an ICU. But in order to do that, they had to paralyze me, put me into an induced coma, and intubate me, so put a breathing system in my lungs. And it was just for the transport to the new hospital. Unfortunately, my lungs actually stopped working. I developed what's called acute respiratory distress syndrome, and my lungs couldn't function on their own anymore. So that induced coma that was supposed to just last a day or 2 to get me settled into the new hospital, I was actually in a coma for 3 weeks before I finally got strong enough to come back out of it. And I'm actually really lucky to even be here. I was told I had about a 20% chance of survival. So I am so grateful that I made it through. And a couple of things happened during my coma, besides the fact that I was fighting for my life. When I was strong enough to get back on my computer, I noticed something interesting. Now, when I woke up from my coma, I'll tell you what that is in a second, but when I woke up from my coma, because I was on a ventilator, the way it works is if your lungs stop working, they get hard, and a ventilator is pushing air into them. So it caused all this scarring inside of my lungs. So the machine that saved my life also left me with a severe lung disability, which is okay. I'm here, so it's all good. But it means it definitely limits what I'm physically able to do. And because it's my lungs and it has to do with oxygen, it also actually limits my thinking ability throughout the day as well. So I can only function for a certain amount of time before my oxygen doesn't circle properly enough for me to actually be able to think. So if I struggle today, you'll know why. And the other thing that happened was that when I was finally strong enough to get back on my computer a couple of months after the coma, I was shocked. My YouTube channel that I had just kind of accidentally thrown together because I wanted to share different things about my different businesses. It was only my YouTube videos that kept driving consistent, highly targeted leads to my different businesses. I had one for teaching children about money. I had one for fun cake decorating ideas. I had videos that went to my books on Amazon, and I had ad revenue turned on. So I was earning these little things from different areas on autopilot while I was literally asleep fighting for my life. And had that not been set up, had I not accidentally decided, you know what, there's this YouTube thing, let me just throw some stuff for my business on there, my businesses would have completely died. They were totally reliant on me marketing them, dealing with them. But I had happened to set up a couple of funnels and the YouTube lead generation system that kept it running for me while I was literally fighting for my life. And I hadn't realized how important that was until I woke up from my coma and now had to live a life with a new disability that severely limits my ability to work. My doctors told me I'd never work again, but as an entrepreneur, I don't take no for an answer. And then in 2019, it came out, and that was a lifesaver because during the couple of years after my coma, I really dove deep to figure out, well, why did some of my YouTube videos keep driving this traffic? I was only earning a couple $100s a month, but I didn't have to work for it. So I wanted to figure out what was doing that. But then it still took me a long time to get everything done, right? To write the copy, to set up the funnels, to get everything right, to write the video scripts. It was taking me so long, and I was very frustrated and honestly quite depressed because I knew what I needed to do and I just physically wasn't able to do it. And that was a very difficult position to be in. So when AI came out, I was so excited. I knew the moment it came out, I could train AI to do the tasks that I need to do so I don't have to do them, right? And as entrepreneurs, we believe and we understand the importance of putting the effort in first for that outcome, right? It's different than going to a job and getting paid for the time you're there. As an entrepreneur, we know we need to set things up so they then work for us automatically. So Evergreen systems saved my business, right? The YouTube funnels, and AI gave me the strength to actually run it. So I'm really excited. And yes, that is actually me in a coma. My wife knows I always like things documented. So she took a picture of that for me. All right. So I have a question for you, and I want you to write it in the chat or in the comments below the video here. Would you like a system that keeps working for you, keeps bringing in your perfect leads on autopilot 24/7, even when you can't or you don't want to, right? Like you want to go on vacation. You don't have to be in a coma. I honestly don't recommend it. So say yes in the comments if that is what you would like to have for your business too. Okay. So why YouTube, right? There are all kinds of social media platforms. Why specifically YouTube? And the main answer is that YouTube is a search engine. I want you to see YouTube as a search engine, not as a social media platform. It happens to be that as well, but it is a search engine. And that means when you use YouTube for your marketing, you're positioning your business as the solution to the questions people are asking, right? When they search how to tie a tie and your tutorial comes up, plus you show off you've got the best tie ever, you want to be in that position. Now, it's the second largest search engine in the world. However, it is owned by Google, which is the first largest or the biggest search engine in the world. And guess what? If you rank on YouTube, if you know how to get your videos to rank on YouTube, they're going to automatically rank on Google. And I'm even going to show you something extra cool in just a moment where they're also going to rank for you. And the nicest thing is they'll rank them for free. And if you happen to have ad revenue turned on your videos, think about this. You are getting paid to promote your business. I don't think you can get any better than that. What do you think, Tony? Right? Isn't that just like amazing?
That is the, I mean,
right. It's
what's the word? Nirvana of marketing, nirvana of entrepreneurship, right?
Yes, it is.
Get paid to generate leads.
Get paid to generate leads for your business. Now, there are times you don't want that, and we can talk about that if you want. Maybe in the questions afterwards, maybe Craig, you can remind me, and I'll answer that for you. But your videos on YouTube, because it's a search engine, it's not like on Facebook or on Instagram where it goes down in the reels and you really don't ever see it again, right? It's a search. It's a search result. So it doesn't matter if your video was posted today or yesterday or 13 years ago, right? Like I have a video on my channel that I showed on our last session that has been on YouTube for now over 15 years, still ranks at the top of the search results and drives targeted traffic. Like how amazing is that? And so that particular video cost me $20 to make because I was baking a cake and that was the cost of the ingredients. And it's earned, I'll show you the stats in a moment, but it's earned over $10,000. Like you try to sell a cake for $10,000. So videos do get discovered year after year, and it builds a relationship while you're resting. People like to buy from people they know, they like, and they trust. And YouTube is the way to do that. It's a way to build that know, like, and trust with your perfect lead, warming them up into hot buyers. You can see it on my face. I get so excited when I talk about this because I have seen what it does for myself, my own business, but also for my students. And it's just amazing. So one video can warm hundreds of your perfect leads into eager buyers, right? And your videos can even show up in AI reviews. So that was that extra good sauce that I wanted to share, driving free targeted traffic. And so I'll share that in just a moment, what that is. So first of all, why do most creators burn out? First of all, they're trying to just get views. It's all about the, oh my gosh, this is where my lungs aren't functioning well enough for me to think of the word.
The algorithm.
Vanity, the vanity metrics.
Vanity.
Right, where you're like,
Vanity
I have
metrics.
this many views and this many likes. And it's like, but how many conversions have you made? Right? So it's not about just getting famous. It's about using it intentionally as your marketing tool. If you want to use it to get famous, that's fine, but it's not a marketing tool. Like, you know what I mean? There's a difference. So they'll post random posts. They'll just keep spinning that content treadmill, and they've got no strategy, which means no traction. So it's all that effort with no long-term results. And so the key is to, like Tony mentioned, the algorithm is to focus on searchable, binge-worthy content that builds that trust with your perfect audience. So AI changed everything, like I said, because after my coma, I didn't have the energy to do it all. And when I mentioned that not only was it frustrating, but that I was depressed, I was seriously depressed. I felt completely hopeless. Like I couldn't go work a normal job because I didn't have consistent energy. So I wouldn't want to hire me, right? If I needed to rely on me to come in every day, 9 to 5, I just physically couldn't do that. And I felt lost because I knew my only way out was to be an entrepreneur and create my own business on my own time frame. But still, the amount of stuff I needed to get done was overwhelming. I could work for an hour and then I'd have to rest for 3. You know what I mean? So AI now, it helps me write my content, plan out my series, my structure, promote, sell without burning out. And that is why I'm so excited to share this, because I've actually created some things for you guys that I'll share in a moment to make it easier for you too. So it literally is my invisible VA virtual assistant who never calls in sick. And so I'm going to show you how I plan my Evergreen video funnels, okay? And how I build trust and drive sales on autopilot, how I write not just copy, but high converting emails. I'm going to show you that. I've got a special template that I'm going to share with you that you can use in your own emails, and how I use AI to create it all faster, but even better. Like we are good, but we can be better by using all of our mentors. And with AI, we can put the two together like a puzzle. It's amazing. I'm going to do a couple of live demos for you showing how to get your perfect lead and your email set up. So, and I created some custom GPTs. I'll explain what those are in a moment and how you can actually grab some of these for free later on. So there are 4 steps. And the first step is we need to first find who is your perfect lead, right? Who are you marketing to? When you know who you're marketing to, all of your marketing content becomes so much easier because you're talking to just one person. I'm talking to you right now. One person, just you. And this needs to make sense for you. So when you know who your perfect lead is, you'll be able to talk directly to them. All right. So the most profitable funnel starts with knowing exactly who you're talking to, and AI can use that, or it can help you by defining their pain points, discovering what they're searching for, and then learning their buying triggers. Like, how cool is this? This is so cool. So I created a prompt for you that you can use in whatever AI platform you want to use. And we're just going to tell the AI to act like a market research expert. And based on my niche, and you put in your niche, create a detailed profile of my perfect lead, their biggest struggles, goals, and what would make them trust me, right? Like that is what you'd want to pop in. And that's a generic. Now I've made a custom GPT. So I've taken AI and I've coded in exactly, there are extra things I want it to do. I want to know specific things. And so I've actually coded it in such a way. So let me show you how it works. So this is my Evergreen Perfect Lead Master. And I believe I have to stop sharing and share a different screen. So give me 1 second and I'll do that. The whole purpose of what I want you to get from this is set things up once that work for you evergreen over and over and over again. It comes from, the forest. If it's an evergreen forest, it's always green, right? It doesn't have a dying up season. And so that's what we want for our marketing. So this is the Evergreen Perfect Lead Master. So it's going to figure out who is most likely to want your product or service. So we're going to click to start. And it's going to ask me some questions. So great, let's get started. What is your main niche or product that you wish to promote on YouTube, for example? And it even gives you some examples. Just let me know a few of the details about your niche and product so I can help you define your perfect lead. So let's use now, Tony, before we started, we were talking about one of your colleagues and one of my students who are interested in or who offer services in your online reputation management. So why don't we use that as an example? Who would be our perfect lead for online reputation management? Now, if you're not sure what that is, it's when people go online and they do a search for your company, what comes up? Are they good reviews, positive reviews? Are they seeing bad, things that are ruining your reputation? So a system. So let me see, online reputation management. And we're going to selling a software. This is what my student happens to do. So selling a software to help manage this. Oh, this is a great example for you. I mentioned this on our last session. You can see that I didn't spell that right? It says Mangate. I'm leaving it on purpose because that's another trick with AI. Don't waste your time with your spelling and your grammar. Make sure you've got those in your copy, but when you're dealing with AI, save those little seconds and don't even bother. It's going to figure it out. All right, so here we go. Perfect. Thank you for clarifying. You're promoting online business or online reputation management software. Let's define who your perfect lead is step by step. So who are they? The demographics, ages 28 to 55, genders, all genders, profession, small business, local services like dentists, restaurants, real estate agents. My student actually focuses on helping the healthcare industry like dentists and doctors and chiropractors. So that's neat that it mentioned that. Solopreneurs and consultants, marketing managers for SMBs, the location, primarily English-speaking countries, so US, UK, Canada, Australia. Income level, mid to high income, enough to invest in the software subscription. And then the psychographics and interests. So they're highly concerned about their business's online reputation and reviews. They're interested in digital marketing, SEO, and customer acquisition. They're motivated to protect their brand credibility and get more clients. And they often feel frustrated with negative reviews or lack of social proof. And what are their biggest problems that this particular product solves? Negative reviews hurting their revenue and credibility, difficulty tracking all online mentions and reviews across platforms. We can understand that, right? Lack of time or staff to manually manage reviews and respond quickly. Inconsistent reputation that undermines referrals and trust. Confusion about how to ask for more positive reviews. And fear of competitors sabotaging their reputation. So what are they actively searching for on YouTube? So this is where you would take these ideas and you would do some keyword research and make sure people are actually searching. So AI is a great starting place, but you need to validate and verify. I want you to understand that, all right? Now it is taking these ideas from its knowledge base of these are the most often asked for questions. So it's a really good starting spot. So here they are: how to remove bad reviews from Google, how to improve my business reputation online, best online reputation management software, how to get more 5-star reviews, how to respond to negative customer reviews, reputation management tips for small businesses, and how to monitor reviews across all platforms. Those are great. Can you see how you could create a series of videos? And we talked about this in our last session as well. So if you don't have the VIP, seriously consider it because we gave a lot of strategy on how to do that. And then you could take this and create a funnel on your YouTube channel that leads the viewer from one question to the next, to the next, to the next. And we did it in a way that is very logical so that it makes sense that they want to see the next. That it becomes like Netflix. It's a binge-worthy session. So what kind of content would build trust then and prepare them to buy? You want to position yourself as the helpful expert. And here are some content types that work well. So it's giving you ideas. So tutorials, step-by-step guide to monitoring and responding to reviews, how to automate your reputation management, case studies and success stories, right? How this restaurant got 75% more 5-star reviews in 3 months, right? If you had a restaurant, you'd want to know. Comparison. So the top reputation management tools, which one do I use, right? Problem-aware content. 3, hidden ways bad reviews are killing your business. People are always like, oh my gosh, what is it, right? That kind of thing. Live demos. Watch me clean up my business's online reputation in 10 minutes. And then tips and quick wins. 7 things you should do after a bad review. And then the AI continues on and you have a conversation, you fine tune. But how cool is that? So within a couple seconds, you understand who your perfect lead is. And if you already know approximately who you are targeting, you pop that into the AI as well, and you really fine tune so you're speaking to that one person. Like my student is focusing just on healthcare professionals, right? Does that make sense? What do you
Absolutely.
guys think of that?
It's great. And you
Yep.
know
Yeah.
what I think is really good is it actually comes up with very clickable titles for the videos, like very
Yes.
compelling titles, right?
I may have coded it in such a way that, it's like be SEO friendly, but also be highly click-worthy, all these different
Okay.
little nuances. And in our last session, I showed how you can create your own custom GPT. And later on today, I'm going to show you how you can put knowledge into your chat session. It's really important so that you're keeping your voice. So we'll talk about that in a moment and we'll move on.
For a
And
minute, I forgot that we're looking at your custom GPT.
yeah,
That this is just like, so like, if you're just using chat with the pro subscription and you're just throwing that in, you're not necessarily going to get such great results.
no, that's right. You'll still get a really great start, and then you use it like a virtual assistant. You talk to it, you fine tune. It just takes more effort. And so I have done that over and over and over again. And then I realized I actually want this and I actually want that. And so I started to create it together. And that's why in our last session, remember we made that GPT to do the measurements when baking?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I showed you how you can do that. But you can just take this prompt, act like a market research expert based on whatever your niche is, and create a detailed profile of my perfect lead, their biggest struggles, goals, and what would make them trust me. And that will give you a great start. All right? Okay, so now let me just make sure there we go. I have another question for you. Would it help you to know exactly who your audience is and what they're searching for? And especially this part, be the number one solution that shows up for them. Like, would that be helpful?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Only if you
that would
want,
be helpful.
only if you want qualified clients or customers, only if you want to actually, make any money with your business. That's the only reason it would be helpful.
Generally, it is helpful to know and to be very targeted.
Yeah, exactly. Of course it's yes. But let us know, which part of it is most enticing to you, that they're searching for you and that you know who they are, or that you are the solution that they see, right? Okay, so the second step, build a binge-worthy series, right? I talked about this. And now what you're doing is you want to start with the problem that they're searching the solution for. You provide them that solution in that video, but then you let them know because they solved that initial problem, it actually creates the next problem for them. So for example, if somebody has no money, right? It's a big one that people always search for, how to make money online. So they have no money and they're like, how to make money online. And then they find a video that shows them 7 ways to make money online, right? Then at the end of showing them how they can make money, but now that you know how to make money online, you need to know how to organize that so that you can pay your taxes properly or whatever it is, right? I'm just coming up with something on the fly. Right. But you see how you create that next related problem? Maybe it's not the taxes. Maybe it's like, and now that you're making money from doing this online thing, how can you multiply that money tenfold? Right? That'd be more intriguing. They'd want to learn that probably more than the taxes. So you want to focus on, and that's where you use AI to help you figure out what is most exciting and relevant to the person who has been searching and related to the product or service you're actually offering. You don't want them just going off on a tangent. It needs to be structured intentionally so that you're leading them with each video in this series. The next final conclusion is to work with you, right? That is the whole goal. And this attracts perfect leads and warms them into eager buyers. And because you're giving value, they now feel reciprocity. They feel like they owe you. When somebody gives you something, you kind of feel like, thank you, but now I feel like I need to give you something, right? So if somebody said to you, oh my gosh, this movie is amazing, you should go see it, you'd be like, oh, thank you. Oh, and did you know this other movie is really amazing, you should go see it, right? Like we always want to give that. So by having a binge-worthy series, we're also boosting YouTube and Google and AEO, and I'm going to show you what that is. So it stands for Answer Engine Optimization, but I'll actually show you what it is. Visibility, so that your audience finds you faster, right? Because what I said is when you rank your YouTube videos, you know the SEO, you know the engagement strategies to get people watching your videos all the way through, really enjoying it, watching your next ones, you will rank in the top search results on YouTube. And then you'll also rank in the top search results on Google. And if you do it correctly and you make sure that you lay out your description properly, you set up your backlinks by posting your videos on your blog and laying it out properly, this is what happens. I'm going to show you 2 examples. Now, this was for a video that I just happened to make a few weeks ago. And it was for this program called courses.gg. And what I wanted to show you is this is that answer, I'm forgetting what it stands for, Answer Engine Optimization. So in Google, if somebody types in the question, like what they've heard about it, what is Courses GG, right? Not only will your videos, and here's my video, right? You can see I'm ranking in YouTube. Well, it's right in Google here at the top, which means I'm also ranking in YouTube or else it wouldn't show up here. But I'm also ranking in AI. How cool is that? Because nowadays when you search for something, AI will give you an answer and then it will show you other options. You can get your content in that answer. So it's another area where you can promote your business. And you're building reciprocity because AI is giving them a solution, but your title and your thumbnail are going to be intriguing enough that they'll go, maybe I should look a little further into this, right? So it's giving the overview of what it is. And if I say see more, each of these links, I just have to move you guys off to the side again. I know you can't see that, but our session kind of blocks what I can see. And you can see over here on the side, 2 of my videos is ranking next to the founder. Fair enough for him to rank. And each of these will change which videos are ranking. See that? So this is for somebody else's one. And then this is mine down here again. And so on. And mine, like this. I sound like the birds in Little Mermaid. Mine, there. And so on. So each of these links is another opportunity for you to rank. Isn't that cool? And I'm also going to show you. So on YouTube, if you did the same search, let me just change the share again. And now I'm going to do this one. So now you should see YouTube. And you can see if somebody were to write in YouTube Courses GG review and bonuses, right? If you're doing a review and bonuses, you'll see that mine is at the top here, right? And it only has 285 views so far, right? It's only 2 months old, just a couple of weeks ago that I did that. And 285 views. So you're like, okay, that's not a lot. Do you guys remember in the last session how much that video had earned already? I'm going to share it with everybody today, but do you remember that?
It was like $12 or $14 already.
Right? It's more than that. You're going to be shocked.
I think it was like a couple thousand.
It was good.
Yeah.
So you can see, so 2 of my videos rank at the top here, right?
Oh,
and
it's
then
because
I'm
they
also
sold,
going to show you my student. So now I need to switch again. And this is my student, Connor, and he does microgreens for his business. And so this is the Google one. You should be able to see that there. So are microgreens safe for reptiles? Okay, because he has part of his business is helping people grow their own microgreens, and part of them is growing them for their pets. So one of the questions he often gets is, are microgreens safe for reptiles? And so you can see in the show more here, you've got more. If you scroll down below, you can see he's ranking. So that these are all Connor. He like totally dominates this, only with a handful of videos, but he dominates. And you can see on the side here, all of the 3 of these are his. And if we click on the individual links, those are all his. These ones are all his. One of them, no, those are all his. The second one here, the Reddit, is not his. And those ones, except for the third one, is not his. And Fresh Sprouts is not his. So the first one is, right? And he's got like 2 out of the 3 here. And he's got 2 on there. Like, isn't this just incredible? Like, so he's not only ranking in building reciprocity, but he's ranking multiple times in AI as well as in the search results themselves. And I'm going to show you if you were to search it on YouTube. So I'll head back over here and grab the YouTube link. And there we go. There's lots of buttons to click if you... It's like share, stop, share, you choose the screen, and so on. So if you were just searching for microgreens for reptiles, you can see here he is at the top there. That's his. This is his. These are all his. He's totally dominating this. And then here are some other people. And then there he is again. Isn't that just crazy? Yeah. And it's done intentionally. And he's only had his channel for, I think, 1.5 years now. And he's just totally dominating. Isn't that amazing?
That is
and he's
amazing.
a kid entrepreneur. Yeah. Like he's only literally turned, 19, I think it was.
Yeah.
Right? So cool. All right. So we're going to keep going because I have so many wonderful things to share with you guys today. All right. So here we go. So the tip that I want to share is use the same main key phrase across the entire YouTube series. So not your whole channel, unless your channel is specifically about one thing, but every time you do like a YouTube funnel where you have a series of videos, use the same main key phrase. So for him, it would be microgreens for reptiles, right? Across each of the 10 videos in his series. So it might be like what to avoid, which microgreens to avoid for reptiles, and so on, right? But the main key phrase is always listed in the tags, in the description, at the end of your title. So he could literally have like, stop, don't give these to your reptiles, and then a line, microgreens for reptiles tips or something like that, right? So that it's in there. It's not going to show up in the shorter search, but the algorithm sees it. And if a person sees it, it still makes sense. It's the combination of making the algorithm happy and making the viewer happy. So that's a tip I wanted to give you. And now I'm going to show you how I use the 10-part series. So this is another custom GPT that I made to actually map out a 10-part series. Are you ready for this?
Let's go.
All right. So again, I have to change the screen. Okay, here we go. And it should be large enough, I think, for you to see here. Okay. So to save time, I actually went through and I did this one already. And so what I did is I clicked start, right? And then it asked, define your video series. And it asked me like, what is the main topic? Who is your ideal audience? Is there a specific transformation or a solution that you want each video to focus on? So I used the cake decorating one that I did the other session. So, and we did this live on the other session, and I just wanted to quickly review it for you today. So I said cake baking and decorating. I sell a cake decorating book, and I want you to figure out the rest. I literally, if you don't know the answers, ask the AI. It's so clever. So it said, great, since your focus is cake baking and decorating, you're selling a cake decorating book. I'll fill in the rest based on what would most likely drive binge-worthy traffic and interest aligned to your product. Like that's the key. It has to be aligned to your product. So have a look. So it came up with the topic, cake baking and decorating for beginners to intermediate bakers. It gave me the audience, right? Mostly women ages 20 to 45. They want to create professional looking cakes for birthdays, holidays, or maybe even start a side hustle. Their challenge or their goal, so we want to look at both their pain point and their desires, is they feel overwhelmed by the perfect cakes on social media, and they want a step-by-step guide to level their cake decorating skills from basic to wow-worthy, right? And then the desired transformation is by the end of the series, they'll go from simple home bakes to confidently decorating cakes that look professionally made with techniques straight from your book, right? So that it's related to the book. So then it's doing some keyword research. Do I already have keywords? So I put some keywords in, and then I said, please figure out the most logical key phrases my perfect lead would use, right? I just gave a couple: how to bake a cake from home or for beginners, how to level a cake, how to crumb coat, how to ice it, decorate it. And then I asked it to do the rest. So it did, and it did the core beginning baking keywords, right? How to bake a cake at home, beginners from scratch. I won't read them all. And then how to level a cake. So how to make it nice and level, right? In case you didn't know what that was. And how to crumb coat it, which is where you put like a thin layer so that when you put the thick layer on, you're not like seeing crumbs through your cake. Then decorating and styling keywords, scaling and volume pan keywords, troubles and tools, and so on, trending niches. So it went through all of that. And then it tells you why they work, which is always helpful to understand. And then the applications. So now I said, sounds great. Let's do this. Here is the series that it created. And I only gave it minimal input. It did the rest. Look at this. So the 10-part series that we created from the last session was from beginner to baker cake artist. That's kind of the theme of the series. The first 3 videos create that big idea. They hook the viewers in. They're showing the opportunity that's available to them. How to bake the perfect cake at home, even if you're a beginner. The top cake baking mistakes that beginners make and how to fix them, right? Essential tools. And then the next set of videos is the transformation, the step-by-step skills, so that they're feeling involved and they're taking, that feeling of actually seeing results because of your videos. How to level and stack the cake like a pro, the ultimate crumb coat and frosting tutorial, easy buttercream, how to decorate a naked cake. We talked about that. It's not walking around naked, but it just doesn't have icing on the sides. And then the last videos are about taking action, where your viewer is taking ownership on the concept of actually already using or buying your service or your product. Whimsical cake decorating ideas that wow with minimal tools, how to resize a cake recipe for any pan, no math headaches, and from hobby to hustle, how to start a cake side business, right? And then it gave an optional hook for the series, from beginner baker to cake artist, 10 steps to cake confidence. I love it. How cool is that? I know we went into detail last time, but I just wanted to remind you because it's going to make sense with what we're going to work on today, which is creating the emails that drive our viewers back to these videos. All right. Okay. So let me go back to the presentation. Any thoughts, Craig or Tony?
It just reminded me about how great the content was from the last session.
Yeah, and
Well,
also generally, it's really awesome how the GPTs just streamline the process.
and it makes this because I didn't have to give much at all. And that's the key. And it took me a long time to set up the GPTs. Like it took me a couple of days, and one of them took me a couple of weeks to finally get it to do what I wanted it to do, because it has its own ideas too. And but once you do that, that means going forward, you don't have to. Like, it's so fast. I love it. That's why I wanted to give a couple of prompts and a couple of things today as well. So step 3 is turning viewers into leads and buyers, right? So your funnel, it's not just videos. It's the whole path to conversion. And so something that I learned, and this was from one of my colleagues who I've ranked next to for products like Kartra and Group Funnels and Click Funnels and stuff like that. We've ranked next to each other for years. And we met, and it was really cool. He made me see the concept of, do you realize you don't actually need to create a lead magnet like an ebook or a checklist or, a tutorial video or whatever to get people to opt into your list? And I'm not talking about just saying, please opt into my email newsletter, right? Because nobody ever does that. You can actually just use your YouTube videos as your opt-in, even though, and this one really took me a while to get my mind to wrap itself around, even though they could watch it on your channel, because you're making it easy for them. You're putting all the videos related to their particular problem into one easy playlist or funnel, but then you're setting it up as a course, like a 10-day course, and they're opting into your email series, which delivers that 10-day course, which really is just sending them each day back to the next video in the series, and they can always speed up and go faster. But I was blown away by how effective this is. People sign up all the time, and you don't need to then create an extra lead magnet. Just focus on your YouTube videos. It becomes your lead magnet. How cool is that? It's so cool.
Super cool. Yeah.
Right. It totally blew my. I'm like, no, they won't, but they do. And I'm like, well, yeah. Then they don't have to scroll through, hundreds of videos to try to find the next one. So I get it, right? So you have your YouTube series. It's your lead magnet. You have your opt-in page. You need your thank you page with a soft offer on it, a soft call to action to an offer. Plus, we also want to make sure on that thank you page that we're making sure they're going to open their emails. So we ask them to safe list the email, and we want them to like answer back that they got it. These are little triggers that let the email servers know, oh, these people actually do want your email. So I'm going to put them in the inbox rather than the junk or their promotions or the spam folder, right? And then we do daily nurture emails, sending those people back to those videos. But we don't send them to YouTube. We embed our videos on our own pages. So we're telling the algorithms, hey, our sites get looked at a lot. That's a good thing. Plus, more importantly, your viewer doesn't get distracted by all the other videos around it. It only sees your video. And there are tools like I use Group. There are different ones that you can use where it doesn't even show at the end, where YouTube goes, now watch this one, this one, this one. It doesn't do that. So it's great. And then underneath your video where you've just given this great value, this little soft call to action that is totally related to what they just watched, right? It's like, oh, did you want my cake recipe book? Take a look at it here. Right? For example.
Right.
And you're doing that every day for the whole series. So just think about the multiple points of sales that you're touching on. That these are like sales touch points. And it takes on average somebody who is interested 7 times before they'll actually take action on something, right? So we have an action in the video. We have an action in the description, in the pinned comment. We have an action in each email. And then on the page where we embed our video, on the thank you page, it's like all these multiple sales points, touch points, and you're just omnipresent. It's amazing. And then we, every trust point builds that trust or sales point builds the trust and primes the sale, which is what we're all about. So here's the visual of how that looks. So this is your Evergreen YouTube funnel. All right. So you've got your YouTube series. They opt in to receive your YouTube series, but as like a special dedicated email. And we're going to dive into how to write it. You're going to love it. We send them to a thank you page that tells them, go and safe list my email. I do not enjoy the word whitelist. I don't like that. So I use safe list, and I recommend everybody use safe list from now on. And on the thank you page, you still have a call to action. Oh, did you want to check out that, cake decorating book? Go take a look here. Most people will not take action on that thank you page call to action, but some will. So like Mike Filsaime says, butterfly marketing, put that out there, right? And then every day we're sending them a daily email that sends them to our video in the funnel, but on our own page where we have soft offers, and that brings us sales. What do you think of that? Do you like that?
I love it.
Yeah, really creative.
So how do we write those emails? Now, these are emails specifically to get people to watch those videos. We need them to watch the videos. That will trigger the algorithm. It's called a backlink because it's a link that came to YouTube from somewhere not from YouTube, right? From the email. And so whenever YouTube gets that trigger of, hey, people are coming to this particular video from all kinds of places, from social media, from emails, from blogs, from all different areas, but not because they're already on YouTube. If this video is bringing new traffic to our platform that we like to earn money on as, ad people, we should probably promote this video to more people like these people who are watching it because they might do that too. And we'll get more people on YouTube. So it's about making YouTube happy, making our viewers happy, and therefore making ourselves happy. Win, win, win. So write emails that convert. So for each email in your 10-part series, I want you to use this template. And I've tested this over time, and it's a combination of things that I've learned from Paul Murphy and also from Mike Filsaime, from Jeff Walker, from Frank Kern. I literally studied my mentors and my colleagues for over a decade. And these are the things that work the best. We want to hook them and remind them why they signed up, because people have a lot of email, right? We want to recap the last session, obviously just from day 2 and onwards, because in day 1, there is no last session, and highlight today's lesson and promise what they're learning about it in today's lesson. We want to link to that video, which we're putting in our custom embedded page, right? We're going to use click-worthy timestamps as a preview of what they're going to learn. So each timestamp is listed out so that they want to see that section. They want to see that section. They want to see the next one. So you're writing them not just like, and I'll show you how to level the cake. It's like, and I'm going to show you how you can level each cake always, every single time with no difficulty. I don't know. That's very, very long, but you get the idea. Then this is really important because this is going to make them look for their next email and make sure they open the next email and make sure they click on the link to the video in the next email, because we're going to tease what their next related problem is now that we are solving today's one for them. Even though they haven't yet watched the video, we are going to use assumptive language, which means we're going to make them feel like we're assuming they're watching it. So they feel like, well, yeah, of course I'm going to watch it, right? And to look for that next problem's solution in tomorrow's email. And we do that from days 1 to 9. And then, of course, day 10, we're sending them to our product. We're not sending them to the next series because that is over then. So then we want to also have a soft call to action in each of the emails. Ready to go deeper? Look at my book, right? Or check out this software I use for online reputation management, right? And we want it always to be encouraging, thoughtful, engaging, but also empathetic and assumptive. And we want to make sure we're putting that in a PS where they're really feeling that they matter. When your readers feel that you actually care about them and you actually have to care about them, right? Then they're going to be loyal. I have people who've stuck with me over a decade from different niches, and they've just stuck with me because I really value them and they know that. And that's what you want. So, okay, we're going to do another demo. This is the Evergreen Email Series Master. I might give you access to this. I'm not giving away too much yet, right? Okay, here we go. Change the screen. I spent, this may have been one of the ones that took me about a week to finally get it to do it properly for me. This is my Evergreen Email Series Master. It's going to map out our full email series or draft a precise lesson of email. So I'm going to do the precise lesson. And to do this, I'm going to actually use the transcripts from my videos. So I'll quickly grab those transcripts. If you want to see me grab a transcript, I can do that just to show you how to do that. I use a tool called Glasp. So let me just do that. I'll just go and I'll share this one instead. I find it very helpful if I can see how somebody's doing things. Let's just see here. Okay, we'll just go back to this page and I can use this one. This is fine. All right, so this was our search for reptiles. I am actually just going to go to my channel. I want to show you. We're going to head over to playlists. So if you go to my channel, you'll see all my story about the coma way on the bottom here. If you want to know what it's like to be in a coma, it's right down there. There was the cake decorating. This was all the financial literacy for kids. It's all over the place. When you start your own channel, and we talked about this last time, Craig, when you asked you to be on one channel, no, do a different channel for each niche unless you have a disability and you can't handle more than one channel. All right, but we're going to head over to playlists because I'm going to choose one of my playlists. I'm going to do this one, which is my YouTube marketing, Evergreen marketing. It's my full SEO series. And then on the side here, so you can see the whole series is mapped out, right? Because I've got the playlist. And then I use this tool up here. It's that colorful diamond look, and it's called Glasp. It's a free extension if you're using Chrome. You click on it and it will give you the transcript of the video. So then I just copy that transcript. Now I'm just going to head back over to the other share so you can just see, and you'll just know now when I go back to the next video, you'll understand what I've done. Okay, so here we go. All right, so I'm going to first say draft an email using my video transcript. Okay, so I'm going to let it absolutely. Please share the transcript or scripts for the previous lesson, the current lesson, and the next lesson, because we talk about all of them in the email, right? So we're going to pretend we're making the email for the second day. Okay, and then once you provide them, I'm going to extract the structure, and then it lists out the structure that I told you, right? So I'm just going to say previous lesson. And again, don't worry about the spelling, paste that in. A tip, if you need to do a space, press the shift and then enter. If you just press enter, it will already send it. So that's just a little tip. Now I'm just going to say today's lesson. And yes, I just did correct myself. Just ignore that. It's hard not to want to fix your spelling. Okay, let me just find the next video in that series, and it is Mastering SEO Basics. Let me just grab the transcript for that one. This takes a second because YouTube always likes to populate a whole bunch of stuff at once. Give me 1 second and then we'll have it there. Okay, so there's the transcript for the next one. This is, put that in there. And then tomorrow's lesson is, and see, I didn't fix my spelling. Look at me go. Grab the next video, and tomorrow's session is about thumbnails. So let me just, populate, grab the transcript, take a second, have a sip of coffee while it's populating the transcript for me. Even though it took a few seconds, that's pretty darn fast, is it not? And then I'm also going to say my main CTA, call to action, right, is to join my Evergreen YouTube, I fixed spelling, sorry about that, marketing mastery coaching program. That's not long at all, is it? Okay. But it tells you what it is. There. Okay. Perfect. If I didn't give it the link, you could put the link to wherever it is that you were going to do that. But watch. So in seconds. Fantastic. Thank you for providing all 3 lesson transcripts and the main CTA. Below is the fully drafted email precisely following the required structure. The subject, the secret to ranking #1 on YouTube even while you sleep. Hi there. Ever wonder why your amazing videos still don't get noticed? You signed up for this series because you're ready to finally make YouTube work for you on autopilot. Yesterday, I shared my personal story of how my YouTube channel kept my business alive, even while I was in a 3-week coma, by driving leads and sales through strategic SEO. We covered how a few simple optimizations turned a hobby video into an evergreen traffic machine. In today's lesson is where we get tactical. In this new video, you're going to discover the foundational YouTube SEO strategies that you need to keep your videos ranking 1 fast. I'll walk you step by step through keyword research, titles, descriptions, and tags that help YouTube and Google promote your content for you without lifting a finger after upload. Click here to watch lesson 2 now. And then here's a quick preview of what you'll learn. So the timestamps, ready? They have to be click-worthy. How your video keeps working for you while you sleep. Keyword research secrets to find topics your audience is already searching for. We talked about that, right? The exact places to put your keywords. Most creators miss this. Honestly, they really do. How to create chapters that also boost your SEO. Did you know that chapters actually rank? It's mind-blowing. Anyway, the annual tweak that revived my old videos and sent them viral. All right, so tomorrow we'll tackle the next big problem. Even if your videos are perfectly optimized, they still won't get clicked if your thumbnails aren't irresistible. Get ready, because tomorrow's training will show you how to design thumbnails that stop the scroll and attract the perfect audience, plus a game-changing tip from Mr. Ready to go deeper and get hands-on support? If you'd love my help setting up your entire Evergreen YouTube marketing system, step by step, you can join me inside my Evergreen YouTube Marketing Mastery Coaching Program. Learn more about the program here. Now, I didn't give it a link, so I had no idea where it sent it. If you gave it a link, it would embed it for you. P.S. You're already taking the first steps most people never do, implementing proven strategies instead of guesswork. Keep going. You've got this, and I'm right here every step of the way. Wow. What did you think of that, Tony? Craig, what did you think of that?
Quite concise.
Yeah, very good.
Isn't that
Absolutely
crazy?
Yep.
And it's like everything it said is literally the information I gave it in the videos.
Yep.
So I didn't make anything up. I really had to work hard on the GPT to get it to be like, don't make stuff up.
It's really concise.
Yeah. All right. So now we'll pop back over here because I have some cool things for you. All right. So that was this one. Here is a pro tip. Okay. So after you've created your series, another thing that worked really well, and this is actually something I learned even before I started putting them into series like this, I did something, and it was because I woke up as a disabled person. So I wanted to just set up an email campaign that would just automatically come out each week, but I didn't necessarily have to do it that week. Because when I first started recovering, there were many weeks I literally couldn't work. So if I had a good day, I took advantage of it. I wrote a bunch of emails. I popped it in a campaign, and then it would just come out every Thursday. So I called it my Throwback Thursday emails. And I would send people to an older video in my channel. And I didn't realize that by doing that, I was driving fresh traffic to older videos. And it actually boosted my videos, and my whole channel started to see the results of it. It was really powerful. And it was so simple. And I had only done it because I just knew I can do an email this week, but I probably won't be able to do one next week, right? Isn't that crazy? So use weekly emails to drive the traffic, but you can use it to build trust and keep promoting those YouTube videos nonstop. And then you can pick which ones you want to do. You can do all 5 if you want, but you don't have to. I have 2 I recommend. So Monday motivational, a motivational email. Each email should have some sort of call to action. Always train your readers that there always is an action related. You provide great value, but you're training them to expect an action. And that way you're not just suddenly sending out all these lovely emails and suddenly you're asking for something. They're like, hey, you're asking me for something. This is something I learned from Mike Filsaime. It's very important. So a Monday motivation, maybe in my case, I have pre-made mind movies, like digital vision boards on my channel. So I'll be like, you are enough. Here's a video I did for you. You are enough. And it's a video literally called You Are Enough. And then Tuesday tips. This is where I like doing a new video each week on my channel on Tuesdays. It's just a really good day when people are very ready to watch a video. The long weekend, if there are long weekends, Mondays and Fridays are not great for postings, but Tuesday is a great day to post videos. So I choose it as my video upload. Whatever day of the week you choose as your video upload, send out an email, let people know about your video. And then while you're making that email, once you finish writing it, get AI to rewrite it in Evergreen. So an example is you would have, I just uploaded this video about, and let's use the Courses GG one that I showed earlier. Go check it out. I just posted it, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm going to say to AI, okay, I want to put this email in my campaign that follows up over time. Make it relevant to them, even if they see it a year from now. That's what I mean by Evergreen. And then when a year from now comes along and they get that same email, but it's written differently, they're still happy to see it. And they won't remember, oh, that's the same email I got a year ago, right? But you're setting up this whole series of, like, I call them Throwback Thursdays. And then you could do a Wednesday wins. It's a great day to show like some case studies or product testimonials or whatever, right? A Friday follow-up. Like these are just, I had some fun with AI to kind of find some really fun ways to make use of email throughout the week. Aim for 2. One is setting up that big campaign and one is just that touch point of check out my new video. And the other ones are just more ways you can build real reciprocity, real loyalty with your members, and you keep them short and concise and valuable. Then people won't be annoyed by them. If they feel like you're just constantly selling to them, then they're going to just unsubscribe and go away. They need to feel you value them. So just value them. It's that simple. All right. So tip after launching a new video, rewrite, like I said, the email as Evergreen, add it to the end of your throwback series, and then it'll keep driving you views for years. Pretty cool, huh? I have a question. All right. So if I were to give you a gift, for free, obviously, because that's what gifts are, which would you rather have? Option A, that Evergreen email series GPT that I just showed you. Would you like that for free? Or B, an AI tool to help you rank or to write high ranking, but also high converting video scripts? Let us know in the comments below this video. Which of these free tools would you like? And I have a surprise for you in a little bit. Okay. It really is my virtual assistant. It costs me $20 a month. It's the cheapest assistant I've ever had, who never gets tired. And AI is my extra pair of lungs. It literally is. It's my energy multiplier. It saved me hours. Makes, and it feels like me. Like I have trained it. I'm going to show you how you can do that to make it feel like you. So it's the copy you get feels like you. And that's important. It helps me convert my offers better because I can have AI use strategies from Mike Filsaime and Frank Kern and Gillian Perkins and Sunny, all of my mentors, right? And it makes it possible to run my business without burning out, which is super important. Like we're doing this session today. I'm not going to be able to do much work for the next few days. It's just the way my life is. And I accept that. And AI makes sure that at least I get the most out of it. And that's important. So it supports my humanity, but it doesn't replace it, right? Okay, so let me show you something so surprising. Now, it's only surprising if you weren't on our last session. But if you were not, this video got over 6 million views, right? This is the cake video I was talking about that cost me $20 to make in about 3 hours of baking and recording, editing, and uploading. And it has earned over $10,000 just in ad revenue alone, which sounds great until you realize, wait a minute, you uploaded this in 2011. That's an awful long time to have to wait to earn $10,000. So yeah, a couple $100 a year. That's not really a way to build a business. But this one, the one that I also showed you, which now currently, what did we see? 268 views or something, right? When I took this screenshot for our last session, it was at 233 views or 260. There you go. See the updated on the screen there, right there. And it's made $4.23 in ad revenue. So it's paying me to promote an affiliate product for me. That's pretty cool. And this video sent 164 impressions to my affiliate landing page for the product I'm promoting. 84 of those were unique. So of the 260, 84 people actually went. And of those, 11 sales. Now, I've already had more sales, and I'm still not up at like 300 views yet. It's crazy. Tony, you were right. It's like $1,300 from a video with 260 views, or 6 million views. It's a long time to wait for $10,000, which sounds really good until you see the math. So let me show you the math. Why fewer views can make you more money. And it's not that you don't want lots of views. Sure, have lots of views as long as they're the right views. That cake video actually really ruined my channel for a while because it was sending the wrong people. And so it really confused the algorithm. I had to retrain it. But here's a comparison. So the viral video, 6 million views compared to 233 or 260 as it was. Ad revenue, $10,000 compared to $4. Product sales, I sold about 28 of my ebooks for the cake video, selling them at like $29 each. So that's about $800. And affiliate earnings, I also promoted some different cake affiliate products, earned about $120, not a huge amount. And then with the Courses GG video, I didn't make any of my own sales because it's not my product. But I did make $1,300 in affiliate commissions. So I sold, I got 40% commission. So that's the 40% commission came to $1,300. Pretty cool, right? So the total revenue, $11,000 versus $1,300, right? But what does that equate? So the cake video, each viewer is worth 1/10 of a penny, or almost 2/10 of a penny, right? Whereas the other video, the intentional video, each viewer is worth over $5.50. Mind blowing, right? That is a 3,000 times higher ROI per view. Would you like that? You don't need millions of views. I mean, if you get them and they're the right people, that's awesome, but you don't need them. You just need the right people watching the right message. You're using your videos as a filtering system to find the right people, warming them up and making sales. So here's a question. Are you surprised by that? That an intentional video that only has a couple hundred views could already make over $1,300 compared to a video that went completely viral with over 6 million views and earned $10,000, but over like 15 years,
Yeah,
right?
it's absolutely surprising. Like thousands
Yeah.
of wows in the chat right now because like the general perception is, what you need to do is you need to create something viral. That's
Yeah.
Right?
how you're going to hit it big. And I know an example, my son and his friends, they created a video on TikTok a few years ago and it went viral,
Yeah.
right? But for a few days, right? I don't know, a few 100,000 views, 1 million views, whatever, but nothing. I mean, they had no offer. They said they were going to start a series. They never did it.
Yeah.
It's so that's a one hit wonder that went nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the thing with a lot of videos that go viral, not just on YouTube, but on the other platforms. A lot of the creators don't know how to monetize. Once I heard of a couple channels, especially on Instagram, but it's related to YouTube, I'm sure the same thing happens. But got a couple of million followers and they could not even sell a couple of t-shirts. It just shows that the audience is not engaged.
I have a friend of mine who's gotten famous on TikTok, and I keep trying to encourage her to go to YouTube. I'm like, people aren't searching for you. Like, if they were searching, they would find you so much better in YouTube. And then you could really have evergreen traffic. She's had a couple of hit wonders. She's got a book deal. She's got this and that. She keeps having to create these reels. She can't just take time off. You know what I mean? But it's that vanity metric, right? It's that feeling of, but I get so many views and I get so many fans and this and that. And it's like, but how much is it converting for you compared to how much effort are you putting in, right? They're really fun. She's just very, very entertaining. But there's a big difference there. All right. So let me show you what you said about how it was like a one-hit wonder. Let me just go back up here and show you this graph. You see the blue line on the bottom there? And you can see, so back in 2011, when I uploaded the video for the first like year and a half, it got like no views. I think I had like 20 views or something crazy. And then the algorithm, they did some tweaks, they did some changes. I happened to give my video the title, How to Bake a Cake, happened to put How to Bake a Cake in the description. And I happened to put How to Bake a Cake in the tags. I just did it because it seemed logical. It wasn't because I knew anything about SEO. It just seemed like, oh, well, this video is about how to bake a cake. Like, it was so logical, right? And it kind of tells you that I'm a little neurodivergent. But anyway, it worked. Because when the algorithm, when they did some tweaks and changes and they kind of really kicked in the SEO system, it took off. It started to get some traction. And you can see this little upslope in the beginning. That was the algorithm noticing. Then a friend of mine, Jason Moffat, he did this thing where he said, you know what, let's do a challenge. Who's with me? We're going to post one video every day for 90 days. And I'm like, I'm in. And then I'm like, I'm homeschooling my kids. Kids, do you guys each want to do this as like a homeschooling project? And they're like, we're in. So we posted 3 videos every single day on my channel for 90 days. I think we're the only people that actually completed the 90 days. But it did something amazing, and you don't have to post every day. This is not the lesson I'm trying to show here, but it did something. It was showing consistency. So even though, as you saw, my channel was all over the place, it literally had Barbie videos and Minecraft videos and cake and financial literacy and online business, like it's literally all over the place. But only for those particular niches. We didn't go to 100 different things. We literally had like 5 or 7 things that we kept repeating videos on. So the algorithm started to notice, wow, there are a lot of Barbie videos. There are a lot of Minecraft videos. There are a lot of cake videos. So it started noticing us as the authority for those particular niches. It's honestly the only reason I ever ranked for multiple niches is because I did this challenge. And then it rose, and you can see how it now steadily stayed across for a couple of years. And it kept bringing in $20 every single month, that particular video. And I was just like blown away. That impressed me so much. I'm like, it literally cost me $20 to make that video. And now every month I'm getting 100% ROI on that. I'm like, that is cool. It's a numbers game. I just need to make a lot of these videos, right? I had low standards then. And then I started, after my coma, then I had the time because I couldn't do anything else other than recover and watch YouTube and learn SEO. All I did, I started tweaking the description, the title, the tags, and it took off. Just those tweaks. And then this big one over here, that's when COVID hit and nobody could buy a cake because they had to bake it at home and they didn't know how to do it. So my video happened to be positioned well for that. And then you can see how it died off as COVID started to come out of the water. So it kind of held steady. And then it dropped. And it dropped intentionally because that's when I had to retrain the algorithm. I'm not about cake decor. I can't bake cakes. I can't even breathe if the oven is on, right? So it's like, I can't bake cakes anymore. So my channel can't be about it anymore. So even though the video ranks, the algorithm now understands that my channel really is about online business and YouTube as a marketing strategy. So it dropped the amount of views, and I'm okay with that because now it's pushing the right viewers. I just wanted to share that because you happened to mention the one-hit wonder. All right, so now let me show you how to create a project inside of ChatGPT, because this will help you create sort of like a brain dump of your business so that all the copy that you create will make sense, will come from your voice. So I'm going to, I showed you in the last session how to build out your own custom GPT. If you haven't watched it yet, do go and watch that because it's going to save you so much time. It really is. And today I'm going to show you how to use projects. It's going to help you keep everything in one place, get better results with less effort. We're going to stay organized, make it easy to find our projects. We're going to use AI as our personal assistant for strategy, scripting, and more. And we're going to upload reference documents to get faster, higher quality results. So I'm going to open that up. And then I will stop sharing and share the right screen for you. Are you excited about this?
I'm excited,
Yes.
but I was muted, so you didn't hear my excitement. Yeah.
I could feel the excitement.
Yes, it
All right,
is.
so this is just ChatGPT, right? When you start fresh, it's like, what's on your mind today? On the left-hand side here, you can do a new chat. You can search your chats, which is new, which is a great feature, by the way. It'll keep a library of all the images it creates and so on. If you've created your own GPTs or you've saved other people's ones, you can have them listed on the sidebar here. And then you can create a new project. And you can see I have a couple of projects already on the go. I've got one set up for my Evergreen YouTube marketing. I've got one because I was doing some promotions for Mike Filsame. So I created a folder specifically for a project around that. I've got one for my Mind movies. I've got one for my daughter, Zenith, and one for my student, Amelia Island Microgreens. So I've just got a few here that I wanted to give you as an example. We are going to start a new project so you can see what it does. So we are going to call it, let's give it a project name, and let's use the online reputation management. This is the part where you kind of do have to spell it right because it's not going to adjust it for you. There you go. Create project. So we just let it create it. And then look at here. So you can start a chat, but you can add files. And this is what I want you to do. And you can add instructions. So adding files, I recommend have a session with GPT and ask it. I want to share information about my business. What kind of things do you need to know to help me write the best copy for my business? All right. And then it's going to give you a bunch of questions like, what are your products? Who's your target audience? And so on. Fill that all out and save it as a document. Upload it in this project. Then any work you do in this project, it's going to understand what your business is about. You can add instructions. You can say, I want you to speak in a structure that has the conversions like Frank Kern or Mike Filsame, for example, right? But I want you to speak in my own personal voice. I am empathetic. I care about my customers. I am very positive. I use assumptive language so that I'm triggering that NLP, that neuro-linguistic programming, to make them want to take action. Like you can put all those kind of instructions in there. It's that simple. And then once you've done that, so let me show you one of mine so you can see how it looks. I'll show you the Evergreen YouTube marketing one. You can see I've got 2 project files in here. I didn't even bother adding instructions because I put those in a document. So they're just in there. And then I have all these different sessions and they all relate back to this information. So I never have to refeed it, that information. So if you wanted to do a project just for one video series, you could literally get all the transcripts from your videos and pop them in. And then it would already know all the information. You wouldn't have to grab it for each email. Do you see what I mean? Isn't that cool?
In your custom GPT and also your project, your folder, so you upload your documents and let's say something major change in your business and you want to edit that specific thing. Do you edit the document or re-upload? Generally, what do you do?
Yeah. If things change, you just edit the document and re-upload and then just delete the old one. Absolutely. And great question. Because things always change, right? Yeah. All right. So now we're almost at the end of our training, but I hope that you guys have been finding this really helpful so far. I've got some cool stuff for you. And here we go. All right. These are the free gifts that you're going to get today. So you got to choose, right? Whether you wanted to have the Evergreen Email Series Master GPT or the Evergreen Video Script Master GPT, because we went through the video script in the last session, right? And I wanted to really give you the best of both worlds. So I'm giving you both. You get to have both. Yes. Plus,
Amazing.
Amanda, you're such a godsend.
I know that these 2 in particular can help you so much. Use them. Just use them. Please use them. Don't just go, yay, gift, put it aside. Use them. I'm also going to give you my exclusive 10-part YouTube training. You saw the ones I pulled the transcripts from, and it's the YouTube SEO full series. And you're also going to get the video upload checklist on there. You can either head over to the link on the site here, or Craig and Tony are actually just going to put a link right under the video. It's easy for you. Yeah, so just click on that and it'll take you to this page. I'll show you what it looks like so it's recognizable. That is this one there, because I know it's always nice if you've already kind of seen what it looks like. So you're getting the GPTs, you're getting the series, and you're getting the checklist, the upload checklist. So before you upload each video, there are certain things you need to do for the metadata, the behind the scenes SEO. And so that's all in there. So anyway, I hope that really is helpful. And one last thing, I wanted to share some encouragement for you because you really can do this. Like if I can do this, and like I'm literally going to not do anything for the next few days while I let my lungs catch up. You can probably hear that it's starting to get a little raspy. I want you to know you can do this. Okay, so remember, you don't need more content. You need the right filter. Okay, so you use YouTube as your long-term legacy strategy. You use AI to execute everything, to get it to do it. You take some time, you train it, and then the output will be so much easier. It's so worth it. You are the heart of your business. All right. You don't have to choose between impact and income. You can have both. Okay. I do believe in you. Like, I really do. I know, you're like, yeah, you don't even know who I am. I seriously believe in you because I know as long as you put the effort in, you can do it. You don't even have to believe in yourself yet. As long as you put the effort in, you're going to see the results and then you'll believe in yourself and you can do it. I believe the impact that your voice can make will make a big difference. So, I hope that was exciting. I love
Absolutely.
sharing this.
Absolutely amazing, Amanda.
Yeah,
You're giving someone of a masterclass once more. It's really, really
absolutely.
awesome to have you on.
I'm glad.
Fabulous,
It's
fabulous.
been such a pleasure, and I'm so excited for this whole AI summit. You guys just have the most amazing guests on. And I'm not just trying to toot my own horn here, but no, like you've got so many incredible people. Like, use these strategies that you're learning. Use them.
Let me ask two quick questions.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for end cards and the call to actions in videos? Should we restrict them to one? And the second one, you use TubeBuddy and vidIQ. Do they both deliver similar results? And do you recommend people use one or both? That's all.
Okay, well, let me answer that one first, and then I'll talk about the B-roll and the end cards and stuff after that. So I use vidIQ almost daily. I pay their whatever it is, $10, $20, I can't remember right now, per month for it. If that's something that, some people might be struggling right now, then pay for 1 month, do a whole bunch of research, stop it, and then pay for it again when you can afford it. Find a way. Don't let obstacles stop you. Find a way. I like vidIQ because it gives exact numbers of search results. TubeBuddy I have installed as well. I use it to kind of see where my videos are ranking compared to others. I find that really helpful, but I don't find their search results as helpful for myself. I really prefer vidIQ for the in-depth analysis. So that's the one I pay for. I don't pay for the TubeBuddy. I just use a free version for that. Now, TubeBuddy does have the ability to do split testing, where it can split test your thumbnails for you based on click rates. You can split test your thumbnails on YouTube as well for free. It will decide which video does better based on the duration of the watch time. And if you think about it, if YouTube's algorithm is focusing on longer watch times, do you not want to have a thumbnail that not only attracts the right viewer, but will make sure they're primed to watch the whole thing? So I kind of like using that one better for myself. But you can use both if you want to really get the best out of everything. Now, your question about end cards and B-roll. So end cards, for anybody who doesn't know, at the end of a YouTube video, you'll see other videos kind of pop up on the video itself. And maybe you'll see the channel circle their picture on there, and you might see like a little square where they can click to somewhere else. I recommend use one next video so you're really focusing on that. Now, you'll notice on my channel, sometimes I use multiple. It depends what your video is about. If I'm like, if you're in this situation, do this, and if you're in this situation, do that, that's fine. But at least giving them a specific targeted direction is really important, rather than just blasting like 4 videos. And if they have too many things to choose from, they choose nothing. Right. So I really like to always end my videos, and I won't even cue that it's the end of the video. I give no triggers. I just say, and so the next thing that we really need to worry about, like once we've solved this thing, is now you have this other thing we have to worry about. But don't worry, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Hop over here and I'll show you that next. So it's like only in the very last second do they realize, as the thing comes up, oh, we're going to continue over here. It feels more like a continuation rather than an end. And as far as B-roll, so use B-roll sparingly, use it intentionally to make a point, but don't waste time making your video all beautiful and great for viewing pleasure. Really focus on conversions. Like, you're an entrepreneur. You're here because you're an entrepreneur. So focus on conversions. Does the B-roll add what you need to add to make them feel what you're trying to make them feel? If so, use it. I like using Descript because I can quickly find things in there and I can do the editing in there, and it's not too it's nice and affordable. So I use that. But you can find B-roll anywhere. And when you're at the stage where you can start making your own B-roll, That's great, because then you're branding yourself. Like Gillian Perkins is one who's great at this. She teaches online business. So she'll have her sitting at a desk, or her typing, or her walking down the street. So as you can create your own, it's extra branding. It's extra ways for them to kind of see over the shoulder of your life. And people really connect with that. So I hope that those answers that for you.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yes, it does.
I have one question, Amanda. A little over a year ago, I started my own podcast. It was kind of a passion project for me. And I hired somebody to help me do the graphics. They made these really cool stylized thumbnails for every episode. Same background, just different headlines, picture
Right.
of my guest, and this, the logo. And after like 15 or so episodes, I was looking at these going, these look boring to me. Like why would somebody click on that image? Episode 24, sure, it had a clickable title, but the image itself they were all the same. And so I started experimenting with using different thumbnails, and I don't have enough data to see whether or not it's made a huge difference. My
Right.
question to you is, have you had experiences like that where people were using kind of standard thumbnails versus something different every time, and the impact?
So you make a really good point, because the thing is, if somebody's already following your podcast, it really won't matter what your thumbnail looks like. If they know the next episode out, they're going to want to watch it, right? So that's fine. But if you're trying to draw in new viewers to your podcast, which is kind of what you want to do, right? Having your face on there will already help the ones who already know you. That'll already be enough to get them in. And then having what is it they're getting out of the podcast as that visual on the thumbnail will help. And one of the YouTubers, I love her podcast so much, Rosanna Pansino. She started this Rodiculous podcast, and she's got great thumbnails. And you can tell that it's her podcast because it's got her Rodiculous, on the bottom of the thumbnail. So it's got that memorable thing. But then the image is related to either the guest or the topic. Like, it's really good. So if you look her up, but look for her podcast, the Rodiculous podcast, then look at those thumbnails. I think they're a really great example, because having some sort of structure is great, because where the podcast is like, it's episodic, but you do want to make sure you're really drawing in interest for new viewers as well. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So
Thanks so
I'm
much for
glad
that.
you're testing. That is the key. Test, 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 test.
Yeah, that is absolutely fantastic. Amanda, any last words for our audience before we?
Literally take notes as you go through the rest of this AI summit. There are some amazing things that you can use. Don't let yourself feel overwhelmed. Just literally list out what you've learned. And then when the AI summit is finished, I want you to look at that list, and I want you to go, what is my most important thing to do first? What is the next thing? And organize it in your checklist, right? You don't need to do it all, but you do need to take an action. And as long as you take one, get that done. Then you can take the next one. All right. So that's my biggest tip, is don't feel overwhelmed. That's why I love that you guys have the VIP, because then you can rewatch on different time. Like when you're ready, go back to that episode and then dive in and learn on it. Right. Rather than trying to cram your head. And you've made it so affordable. So I really appreciate that as well. So thank you guys. I really do appreciate that.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you so much for sharing all of this wisdom with us and being so generous and giving so much value to our audience. You're absolutely amazing. You're a phenom. I love your story. I love your attitude. I love your heart. And just the fact that you're sharing real wisdom here. You're not just, there's no fluff with you. It's all gold. So thank you very much.
I honestly just don't have the lungs for fluff. It's too hard to breathe that stuff in.
Yeah, if someone's listening to you and they want to reach you, tell them how to reach you at.
Yeah. So if you
Go get the free gift. Just go to
I was going to say, if you just look under this video, and you'll see my website is cleverdough.com, but you want to really be looking for the Evergreen leads, the YouTube marketing. So use the link below, because I've given these guys the one that will bring you directly there. So you're not getting the cake stuff and the financial literacy stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah. And of course, you can look me up on YouTube. Type my name in, you'll find me.
Amanda, once more, would like to thank you heartily for your presentations and for sharing and being so generous with everyone. People,
my pleasure.
once more, what Amanda's sharing is worth gold. So please put it to good use, and please make Amanda proud. So everyone, this has been yet another episode of the AI Business Jumpstart Summit. Stay tuned for the next presentation, and see you soon.
Thanks so much. See you guys soon.